guys, welcome to our channel. We asked you guys to ask us questions and we had so many people respond. There was so many to choose from.
I was impressed, yeah. There was tons.
There was a lot of questions that were repeated, so we will just kind of tell you our situation and I think that will answer a lot of questions. The first question is, how long have we been married? When you are watching this, Sunday, it'll have been 7 years.
Happy anniversary to us.
7 years.
7 years. Where did we meet? Well, you see, we are both medical professionals. Julie's a nurse. And I was in medical school, but we met working at an assisted living home, an old folks home, whatever you want to call it.
We were CNAs. We were the nurses' assistants, and we helped the elderly at this assisted living home. So that is where we met 10 years ago.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. We've known each other for 10 years. We've known each other for 10 years. We've been married for 7 years, and we have lived in Missouri for 2.5 of those 7 years. We started off in Utah by our family, working, going to school, like many of you guys do, and then we moved here for medical school, which brings us to our next question. Why did we switch to an MBA? So I was accepted into and was 2.5 years into medical school when we decided that we needed to switch to a Master's of Business Administration program.
But the medical school he was in offered an optional MBA program in conjunction with the
medical part, yeah.
And so he had already started that, which we were glad he had already started. And he just seemed to do better and excelled better in the business side and struggled a little bit on the medical side. So that was part of our reasoning as well. And so a lot of you keep asking, are we moving back to Utah now that we're not doing the medical school part anymore? It's hard to transfer those credits, and so we are going to stay here for 1 more year to finish out his schooling. So his schooling will just take 1 more year, and then we will see after that. We don't know. We would like to go back to Utah eventually, sometime, but depending on if he finds a job out here, he at least has a year of school though.
But yeah, we love Utah. We love mountains. That's where we play mountain biking and rock climbing and snowmobiling.
Those are his hobbies.
Those are my hobbies.
Sorry if I say this wrong. At Missin Jack asks, as a student who's studying to get into med school, what aspects of med school did Landon like or dislike?
Med school is a whole different beast. It's a tough game to play. Getting in is tough. Being in it is tougher. But I really enjoyed the camaraderie that you feel with your classmates. You really get close. I mean, most of the friends that we have out here are fellow medical students because you spend hours with them and you're struggling the same struggles with them. So that closeness that you get with those friends is a lot closer than you'd get in undergraduate programs or anything else like that. I also really like just the learning aspect. I think anybody likes to learn new things, and I just love being able to just have new information all the time.
He learned a lot in those 2.5 years, and I just want to say that we don't regret the last 2.5 years at all.
One part of medical school that I disliked was the fact that it seemed that everything we did in our lives revolved around me. I love my family and I love being around them, but when I would go to sleep and a kid would wake up in the middle of the night, Julie had to get up with them because I needed to get good sleep, because I needed to perform well the next day in school. And I needed to, have all the meals prepared for me because I needed a lunch for the next day, and I needed everything. And when I came home, I needed the kids to be put to bed, and it was all about me, and I hated that. I hated not being able to, after exams or when I could, I loved to turn around and be there and be part of my family and pull my weight, but I felt like every time I turn around, everything that was done was for me.
But he did a good job, and I didn't mind one bit at all. That was just,
you did a great
we
job.
knew what we were getting into when we started it. So
Yeah, Julie's a trooper.
How many kids do we want? So many of you have asked, are we just going to have 3 kids, or do we want more? Right now, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will see. I think that we would both be happy with 5 kids.
Probably.
Would you say so?
Mm-hmm.
We both, and another question is, how many siblings does Landon have? He comes from a family of 5 kids as well, and it just seems like a good number. At the Zen Garden asks,
Do you plan on going back to work as a nurse?
I do have a job that starts in January, and I'm excited. It'll be a learning curve, but it'll be good to get back into the groove of things.
Julie has awesome nursing experience. I mean, she worked as a nurse for 2 years before we moved out here, and in a pretty intense. I mean, it wasn't like ICU intense. It was like a step down from that. But you've got a lot more experience than you think you do, Rita. So at Elizabeth Abel 42 says, "What's our favorite memory?"
Do you want to start?
I don't know.
I know my favorite memory.
Of us? Okay.
Yeah. So, in fact, we just talked about it a little bit. We actually worked together at a hospital, and my favorite memory is we would ride our bike up to work. We would work and ride our bikes back home at like midnight. But it was just fun to be able to work together. Our dates would consist eating dinner down in the cafeteria on our lunch break instead of eating leftovers. And so that's one of my favorite memories, just the whole like early college years riding our bikes.
Those are the best memories, you know, when you just starting off young and doesn't matter what you got or what you don't.
What's your favorite memory?
All right, so one of my favorite memories is when we were just first married. We went up, we had a little geoprism, and we loaded it up with all of our tents and sleeping bags, and we went up camping. It
In
was
June.
It was by Julie's birthday. We went up in June thinking, oh, it'll be plenty warm. We pulled off to the side of the road, we started a little fire, and about halfway through our fire, it started to snow on us. And we had our tent up and everything. We got our food cooked barely on the fire, and we just snuggled in our sleeping bags. It was like 7 o'clock, and we snuggled in our sleeping bags, and we're just freezing, and we're like, this is ridiculous. Like, we are just getting snowed on. Let's just pack up and get the heck out of here.
Yeah, we just threw
So we
everything
just
wet in the car,
Chucked it in the car
drove
and came
home and watched a movie.
Yeah.
So
that was insane.
that was fun. At Taylor Johnson asks, what is our favorite thing about each other?
Ooh.
One of my favorite things about Landon is his work ethic. He works very hard. He also doesn't like unfinished projects, and he's not lazy, and he's a go-getter. He seriously does not have to be asked to take the garbage out, to do the dishes. I'll come home from somewhere and he will have had all these things done. And I always tell him that he would make a better housewife than I would because he just gets stuff done. He just works. So,
Well, thanks.
but he also knows how to play.
Oh yeah, you gotta work hard to play hard. My favorite thing about you, well, not my favorite thing, but one of my favorite things. There's lots of favorite things about my wife, but one of the things that I enjoy most is how on the ball you are with things. Just everything. She's our CFO, our Chief Financial Officer. She runs our money. She runs our house. She runs the kids, and I feel bad because a lot of the time I'll come home and she'll have worked all day to make sure the kids have like learned something or stayed in line, and I just come home and wreck it all. I'm just like the fun. I'm just like come home and just like who cares? But she's very orderly and very structured, and I love that because it keeps our house in order. And then when we have a house of order, we have a house of non-chaos. I don't know.
But he brings the fun.
Well,
to
no,
the-
you bring lots of fun, but it's. I almost don't know how to balance that fun, and you do. You have a good sense of balance with that. So.
At Love and Life 1234 asks, did I ever date Jared Meekum? Did I date him?
Tell him.
No, I never did. But we did go out once, and it wasn't really a date. He was getting family pictures taken, and we weren't quite engaged yet, so I didn't get to be part of his family pictures. And Jared was around, and I wanted to go do something with Landon, but he couldn't. So me and Jared did go to a concert once.
Ryan Shoop and the Rubber Band or something like that?
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yes, and I think we may have held hands like for 2 seconds.
Just as a joke?
Yeah, just as jokingly, but it was never anything serious. So.
At Aaron K. Gifford asks, do we like living far away from family?
Well, I wouldn't say I love living away from my family, but I do like living in Missouri. When we were getting ready to move out here, I was excited and looking forward to just getting out, starting fresh, and just focusing on our family. And it's been good for us. We've learned a lot, and it's been good to be away from the family.
Yeah, we rely a lot more on each other, I think,
Yeah.
instead of running to mom and dad all the time. It is tough. It's tough to be away from family. Family's our life, both immediate and extended, and it's tough to not be around them all the time. But we do find our own memories, and technology makes it amazing.
Well, I was just going to say, the next question is
Yeah.
by at Ashley Mullen 47. Why did we start YouTube? Well, Mom, for Christmas, she gave me a camera last year, and it's because she misses her grandkids. She wanted to be able to see them, and YouTube is a very easy, fun way for her to know what's going on in our lives.
Good way to stay updated. And we FaceTime and do other stuff too, but it's just a good way to just see what our day-to-day lives are like for everybody else, because we're not as a part of their lives as everybody else is.
And she also asked, do I get jealous that other siblings have a higher subscriber than we do? Heavens no, not at all. It is not a competition whatsoever. This is just, it's fun. It's fun that we are interacting with you guys, and it's not a competition. No.
Yeah. And you guys, I mean, along with us being away from our family, you guys are becoming part of our family too. I mean, the fact that you're interacting with us and that you're involved in our lives just as much as our family is, miles away. A lot of you live on the other side of the world, and it's fun to have you guys be part of it too.
At Anne-Marie 2003 says, are we going to travel anytime soon? You tell us. You'll have to keep watching next week's vlog to find out. Are we going to go traveling? A lot of you have also asked, what sibling did I get along with the most? I have a different relationship with each of my siblings. They're all a little bit different, but they're all great. And I wouldn't say that one was better than the other. Where I was in the middle of Bonnie and Ellie, I did more with them and played a lot with, I think I played most with Ellie, but I love them all and we all got along great.
Baloney. You and Ellie fought all the time.
Okay, so we did fight. Sorry again. We fought, we were kids.
Oh yeah. Hey. Alright, so for our last question of the day, at SwiftyOwner8 asks, how important is your faith in God? And I would say it's the most important thing in our lives. Having God in our lives gives us hope, gives us meaning and purpose, and because of God, our family is closer. We believe that families can be together even after this life, and that's what puts our family as being the most important part of our lives, is that as we follow God's plan and as we do what we need to do, everything else kind of seems to fall in line. So if you put that at the top, everything else is good.
Thank you. I want to thank all of you for your questions, and I'm really so sorry if we didn't answer your question. There was just so many to choose from.
Yeah.
So don't forget to thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe.
Hopefully this helped all of you get a little closer to us. I know we're fairly new to YouTube and a lot of you are new to us. So hopefully that kind of helped hopefully that helped you get to know us a little bit better. And we appreciate your feedback and your comments. It's so fun to interact with you guys.
Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
Bye. I'll answer the first
Put
one.
your hand down.
What? Oh, I'll just scratch my ear. I know you're nervous. So.
I needed to hear that. Thank you. Okay, can I tell you what your favorite memory is?
Yeah. Why did it stop? Make sure it's rolling. No.
I have a unique...
What?